Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is John with SoCal Outdoor Adventure. It's great to be back here with you today. For today's episode, we're going to be looking at a mess kit that has been gaining word around a lot lately, and that is the new UCO Mess Kit. Stick around. Alright you guys, so welcome back to the channel. This is a review of the UCO Mess Kit here, and you're probably wondering why I have another mess kit right beside it. Well, the kit that is right beside it is actually my old mess kit. This is by Light My Fire, and don't get me wrong, the Light My Fire mess kit was pretty decent. It was pretty good, but a couple of flaws that the Light My Fire mess kit did have. One, it did have a rubberized protector to keep this puppy enclosed. Without the rubberized protector, I mean, it does do a decent job of keeping everything enclosed, but the bad thing that I do not like about this particular mess kit was the spork that came with it. That spork broke easily on me, so I've used this mess kit a couple of times without the spork, with just a regular metal knife and fork that I found from Sea to Summit. But I decided to go ahead and upgrade to something a little bit more better, a little bit more consistent, and that is by UCO, and that happens to be this guy, the UCO Mess Kit. And let's move that out of the way. There we go. Now, I have to say I am a huge fan of this particular mess kit. It's a very nice kit overall. It does a very good job. And there's a couple of likes and dislikes about this particular kit that I am not a huge fan of. So let's go ahead and talk about the dislikes here real quick. So the dislikes for this particular system here for the UCO Mess Kit is definitely going to be the fact that this particular mess kit in question is not leak proof. This will leak on you if you have either water or liquids inside of it. If you have something that is like let's see, what's the correct word I'm looking for, something that's a very lucent style liquid, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you here in just a moment. So I'll be right back with you. Alright you guys, so let's go ahead and get back to the review of this particular mess kit here. Now, I did mention that this particular kit is not leak proof. It is waterproof, but it's not leak proof. Well, actually no, check that, it's not even waterproof either, my bad. So, because as you can see, there is a bit of a gap. Hopefully you guys can see that right there in the camera. Let me move it up a little bit. There we go, perfect. There is a bit of a gap right here, so this will cause the system to leak a little bit. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to pop this kit open here, and I'm going to go ahead and pour some water into it, just a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and close this up and make it nice and tight. Now, there was a claim by another fellow reviewer from Aaron from Gideon's Technical that this does leak, so let's go ahead. And of course I haven't had a chance to test that out, so let's go ahead and give this a test. Let's see what happens. I may have been wrong. Could I have been wrong? Oh, there it is. See it? So if you shake it just enough, it will leak. So right now I'm holding an angle. Look, there it is. See that? Yeah. So this mess kit will leak, unfortunately. But all in all, it's still a good mess kit. So that's the negative about the mess kit. So this thing will leak. However, let's go and get the water out. There we go. It'll dry pretty quick around here. So even though it does leak, I mean, if you're using, like, for example, if you like to eat a lot of salads, if you're using like a very thick salad dressing, obviously this is not going to leak with a very thick salad dressing. That's definitely a great thing about this particular kit. So that's one con. Another con about this particular kit system here, well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a con. Maybe. I mean, it just depends on the person. It depends on who owns this kit. But it's definitely got to be the spork. Now, the spork in question, this is definitely a very nice upgrade compared to the sporks that come with the Light My Fire mess kits. And I actually do like this particular spork here just because of how well it was designed. I mean, it does perfect with both cold and hot liquids. Obviously, you're not going to be able to use this particular spork excuse me, you're not going to be able to use this particular spork in question with a food with like a freeze-dried meal, because it doesn't reach all the way down into the bag. A couple of complaints I do have about the spork though is the cutting teeth right here along the side of the fork is a little bit sharp, so if I'm eating something, it will kind of go into my skin a little bit, into my mouth. But it does do a good job, a cut at basically basically cutting small foods such as ground turkey, ground beef, some chicken. It depends. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros now that I like about this. First pro that I definitely like about this is just how it looks. I mean, this is definitely a very nice improvement compared to the old Light My Fire mess kits. Just the way that this is designed, and this is both dishwasher and microwave safe. So if I take the top portion off, I can basically pull the cord out and put this bowl into the microwave, and it will warm up the food. No problems there whatsoever. And as you can see on the edge of the lid here, which can be used as a plate, this does have a very nice O-ring along the whole side of this particular kit, and it does sit pretty well. I have used this at work, made some ground beef with mac and cheese. I've also put a sandwich into this guy and taken it to work, and it does very well. The approximate weight on this one is definitely less than a pound easily. Even with the fork, even with the spork in particular that comes with it, it's not bad at all. So we're gonna go ahead. Another pro about this particular mess kit system here is definitely going to be the elastic that comes with it. This is a very nice elastic piece that comes with it. Granted, you could use paracord, which is a possibility if this were to break. If this doesn't break, thank God, you don't have to use paracord. But still, I mean, paracord is definitely another option that you can do. But all in all, I do like how they have this system set up. So you can set it up both ways. You can either set it up, let me see here, there we go. You can pull this guy off and then move it to this side, or you can move it over to the other side, and that's really cool about this particular mess kit. So what we're going to go ahead and do is going to go ahead and pull the spork off, because there's another pro I definitely do want to show you about this. When you open this up, I did mention before that this is designed that you can use this as a plate and as a bowl. Now, a couple of things I definitely do like about the bowl is the fact that if I'm eating food, it's very easy to get into. It's not deep, unlike the Light My Fire kit, where the bowl and the plate is a little bit deep. I sometimes have to kind of sneak in a little bit, but with this guy, I don't have to worry about that. I can get in here, chop up my food, and then either use the fork portion to eat, or I can use the spoon portion. Another pro about this particular mess kit system is definitely going to be the bowl. The bowl is very, very nice. So if you are someone that loves to eat oatmeal, if you want to have like a nice bowl of cereal, as you can see, as I'm moving the spoon portion of the spork around the bowl, it is very, very simple to be able to kind of scoop up all of those leftovers. I'm even getting a little bit of the leftover water that's in here, and I love that about the design of the spork, and I love that about the design of the bowl. So that's definitely a good pro about this one. So let's go ahead and talk about price here real quick. Price here that you are going to be looking at for this particular system is between $15 and $20 depending on where you go to get it. I did find this on Amazon for roughly about I think it was around $16, plus with Amazon Prime I do get free shipping on this particular system here. So I definitely do think that this is a worthwhile system. Overall rating out of 10. Well, let's go ahead and talk about a few other things that before we continue on. Now, there is another version of this mess kit, and it's made, and basically the plate portion, which is this guy right here, is going to be made from bamboo, and that kit is particularly nice. It is going to be a little bit more money, roughly between $20 to $22, and the reason for that is because instead of coming with the UCO spork, which normally comes with this particular one comes with, it actually comes with the UCO switch spork, which I'll be doing a review on later on. So, what do I think about this kit? All in all, my rating out of 10. Well, let's see. If it was because of the issue, I love the price. I definitely like the fact that it doesn't weigh a lot. Even when you put food, I mean, I've carried this thing with a full load of food, with already cooked eggs, ground beef, and what else did I have in there? Oh yeah, baked beans, all in this one little system, and I was able to cook this. I cooked this at camp, and then I took it on a small. I mean, I cooked this on at camp. I cooked some food at camp, took this with me on a hike with the food inside, and I ate this at my location that I stopped at. And it does a very good job of keeping it nice and warm, and it was just delicious. I mean, it depends on your pack and what you have in the pack. So do I think this particular system is worth it? The answer is yes. So my rating for this particular, for the UCO Mess Kit, is an 8 out of 10. And the reason why I give it an 8 out of 10, first off, obviously because it's not leak proof, so if you have anything that's thick like water, or any dressings that are thick as water, it's obviously going to leak on you if you hold it to the side. The other part obviously is going to be definitely the UCO spork. However, I do believe UCO hit the ball out of the park with this particular with this particular spork. This is an improvement compared to the Light My Fire spork. And I'm not a huge fan of Light My Fire spork. I've had multiple of those loans break on me.